Little Healer and the Wounded Tycoon 1. A glimmer in the gloom. A child's bolt of earth. December snow fell softly outside the massive windows of the Sterling estate. But inside the opulent dining room, Arthur Sterling, a man of 52, sat alone at a table built for 20. His expensive wheelchair moved silently as he neared the window, watching the world beyond his glass and steel cage. For 2 decades, a devastating car accident had claimed his legs, leaving him with a fortune of $40 million but no ability to walk. The vast mansion echoed with emptiness. His wife had left 15 years prior, unable to endure his bitterness. Friends had drifted away, tired of his angry outbursts. Even his mother, Eleanor, visited less frequently, her 78-year-old, heartbreaking with each glimpse of her son's vacant eyes. Arthur pushed away his untouched dinner and rolled into his study. Through the fog glass, he saw silhouettes hurrying along the sidewalk below, ordinary people, walking, taking their legs for granted. A soft knock at the service door caught his attention. Who could it be on such a cold December evening? His housekeeper had left hours ago, and Arthur wasn't expecting anyone. The knocking persisted, gentle but insistent. Curiosity won out over his usual desire for solitude. He wheeled through the house, past portraits of ancestors who could all walk, past furniture arranged for someone who would never stand again. The knocking stopped, but he opened the heavy door anyway. There, pressed against the cold wall, stood the smallest person he had ever seen at his door, a little girl, no older than 6, with tangled brown hair and clothes that had clearly seen better days. Her shoes had holes, and her thin jacket was no match for a Massachusetts December. "Mister," she whispered, her voice barely audible, "I'm really hungry. Do you have any food you're not gonna eat?" Arthur stared in shock. In 20 years of isolation, no one had ever asked him for help. People usually wanted something from his money, his connections, his influence, but this tiny girl was asking for his leftovers. "What are you doing out here alone?" he asked, his voice rough from disuse. "I live with my mom in the apartment over there." She pointed to a rundown building across the street. "She's working late again, and I got hungry." Mrs. Peterson next door said rich folks throw out good food all the time. The girl's eyes were the brightest blue he had ever seen, and there was no fear in them, no judgment of his wheelchair. She looked at him like an ordinary person, not a broken millionaire. "What's your name?" Arthur asked, almost against his will. "Lily Mae Thompson." "And yours?" "Arthur Sterling. But you can call me Art." Lily Mae smiled, and for the first time in years, Arthur felt something stir in his chest. Something he thought had died forever. "I can make you a deal, Mr. Art," Lily Mae said, stepping closer. "You give me some of your uneaten food, and I'll give you something better." Arthur almost chuckled. "What could you possibly give me, little one?" Lily Mae looked directly into his eyes. A tiny hand touched the armrest of his wheelchair. "I can make you walk again." The words hit Arthur like a physical blow. For a moment, his old rage flared. How dare this child mock him with impossible promises? He had heard it all before from doctors, healers, experimental researchers, all promising miracles, taking his money, and leaving him right where he was. But something in Lily Mae's voice stopped him from slamming the door. There was no greed, no calculation, just absolute certainty, as if she were stating the sky was blue or that snow was cold. Arthur laughed, the sound strange and hollow in the night air. "You think you can make me walk?" he asked. "I know I can," Lily Mae replied simply. "I've done it before, too." An unlikely alliance. Hope blooms in the gilded cage. The next morning, Arthur woke up with Lily Mae's words still echoing in his head. "I can make you walk again." He had given her a container of his nearly untouched dinner and watched her disappear into the night, promising to return the next day. Now, as his housekeeper, Mrs. Chen prepared his usual breakfast that he wouldn't eat. Arthur felt something he hadn't experienced in decades: anticipation. "Mr. Sterling," Mrs. Chen said cautiously, "there's a little girl at the door, asking for you." Arthur's heart actually skipped a beat. "Let her in." Lily Mae appeared in the dining room doorway, still in the same worn clothes, but somehow brighter in the morning light. In her hands, she held a small paper bag. "Good morning, Mr. Art," she chirped. "I brought you something." "You brought me something?" Arthur couldn't hide his surprise. In his experience, people took from him. They didn't give. Lily Mae nodded and pulled a crumpled flower from the bag. It was clearly picked from someone's garden, a bit wilted, but she held it out to him as if it were made of gold. My mom says if someone's kind to you, you gotta be kind back. This is for giving me dinner. Arthur took the flower with hands that hadn't held a gift in years. Thank you, Lily Mae. That's very sweet. Can I look at your legs? Lily Mae asked. Suddenly, the question would have sent Arthur into a rage if anyone else had asked it, but from this innocent child, it seemed like simple curiosity. They don't work, Arthur said softly. I can't feel them at all. Can I touch them? Arthur hesitated. Even doctors touched his legs with clinical detachment. No one had touched them with kindness in 20 years. I guess so, he finally said. Lily Mae walked over and gently placed her small hands on Arthur's knee. Through his trousers, her touch was warm and soft. And for a moment, Arthur swore he felt something. Not quite a sensation, but a presence. They're sleeping, Lily Mae said calmly. Sometimes when things get really tired, they sleep for a long time, but they always wake up eventually. Lily Mae, Arthur said gently. My legs aren't sleeping, they're broken. The doctors say they'll never work again. Doctors don't know everything, Lily Mae said with the certainty only a 6-year-old could possess. My mom said when I was real little, I couldn't talk for the first 3 years. All the doctors said there was something wrong with my brain, but then one day, I just started talking. And now I talk all the time. She smiled at him. And Arthur almost believed her impossible optimism. How exactly are you going to make me walk? He asked. Lily Mae climbed onto a chair opposite him, swinging her legs freely. First, you gotta want to walk for the right reasons. What do you mean? Most people want something for themselves, but magic doesn't work like that. You gotta want to walk so you can help other people. Magic, Arthur almost laughed again, but there was something in Lily Mae's earnest expression that stopped him. I've wanted to walk for 20 years, Arthur said. Believe me, I want it. Badly. But why? Lily Mae asked. Why do you want to walk? Why did he want to walk? To be normal again, to have his old life back, to stop feeling broken. I want to be the person I was before, he finally said. Lily Mae shook her head. That's wanting something for yourself. What if you could walk again? But only to help other people. Would you still want it? Arthur stared at this tiny philosopher across from him. When had anyone ever asked him to think about what he could do for others? I don't know, he admitted. That's okay, Lily Mae said brightly. We have time to figure it out. Can I come back tomorrow? Yes, Arthur said without hesitation. Yes, you can come back. As Lily Mae headed for the door, she turned back to him. And Mr. Art, you should eat your breakfast. You're gonna need your strength. For the first time in months. Arthur felt hungry. 3. A Mother's Fears, a Millionaire's plea. Margaret Thompson rushed through the door of their tiny one-bedroom apartment, hurrying for her second job. At 28, Maggie looked older than her years, worn down by 6 years of single parenthood, and 3 jobs to make ends meet. Lily Mae, baby, where are you? I'm in here, Mama. Lily Mae called from the kitchen, where she was coloring at their small table. Maggie hurried to her and knelt beside her daughter, scrutinizing her with the experienced eye of a mother who had learned to worry about everything. Mrs. Peterson said you were gone for a few hours yesterday. Where did you go? Lily Mae's crayon paused above her drawing. I made a new friend. What kind of friend? A hint of the fear that came with raising a child in a neighborhood where danger lurked on every corner entered Maggie's voice. His name is Mr. Art, and he lives in the big house across the street. He's in a wheelchair, and he's really sad. But I'm gonna help him walk again. Maggie's blood ran cold. An adult, man she'd never seen, interacting with her 6-year-old daughter. Everything inside her screamed danger. Lily Mae, honey, you can't just go into strangers' houses. That's not safe. But he's not a stranger now. He's my friend. And he gave me dinner when I was hungry. You were hungry. Maggie's heart broke. She had left crackers and a sandwich for Lily Mae, but it clearly hadn't been enough. It was never enough. Just a little bit, Lily Mae said quickly, sensing her mother's distress. And Mr. Art has lots of food he doesn't eat. He's really nice, Mama. He let me touch his legs. All of Maggie's maternal instincts screamed, "He did what? They're just sleeping really deep." "But I can wake them up." Maggie pulled Lily Mae into her arms, holding her tight. Her daughter's innocence was both her greatest gift and Maggie's greatest fear. Lily Mae saw the world as a place where magic was possible, where broken things could be fixed, where everyone was basically good. At 6, she didn't understand the dangers that kept Maggie awake at night. "Baby, I need you to promise me something. You can't go to that house anymore." "Okay, but, Mama." "No buts, Lily Mae. I know you want to help people, and that's wonderful. But adults who invite little girls into their homes, sometimes they aren't good people." Lily Mae's face fell. "Mr. Art is a good person. He's just lonely. I'm sure. He seems nice." But a knock at the door interrupted them. Maggie's first instinct was to ignore it. Debt collectors, landlords, and other harbingers of bad news usually knocked at this hour. "Mrs. Thompson," a man's voice called out. "My name is Arthur Sterling. I believe your daughter, Lily Mae, has been visiting me." Maggie's fear spiked. He had tracked Lily Mae home. He knew where they lived. She grabbed the baseball bat she kept by the door and cracked it open. The chain still latched. Through the gap, she saw a man in an expensive wheelchair. He was well-dressed, clean-shaven, and there was none of the predatory glint in his eyes she had expected. Instead, he looked nervous. "What do you want?" Maggie demanded. "I wanted to meet you," Arthur said simply. "Your daughter has been visiting me, and I thought you should know who she is spending time with." "May I come in?" "Absolutely not. I understand your concern," Arthur said calmly. "If I had a daughter, I would be just as protective. What if we talk here, or better yet, what if you and Lily Mae come to my home? You could see for yourself that I mean no harm." "Mama, please," Lily Mae said from behind her. "I told you about him. He's nice." Maggie looked at her daughter's pleading face, then back at the man in the wheelchair. He wasn't what she expected. There was something broken about him, something sad and lost. That reminded her of herself. "5 minutes, she finally said. "And I'm bringing this." She lifted the bat. Arthur actually smiled. "I wouldn't expect any less from a good mother." As they crossed the street together. 4. Unveiling truths. Hearts and Legs Sterling estate looked even more imposing up close than from across the street. Maggie had cleaned houses for wealthy people before, but nothing like this. The foyer alone was bigger than her entire apartment. "It's beautiful," she whispered, despite herself. "It's just a house," Arthur said, though Maggie detected a hint of pride in his voice. "May I get you something to drink? Coffee, tea?" "Coffee would be nice," Maggie admitted. She was running on 4 hours of sleep and the scent of caffeine. While Arthur prepared coffee in a kitchen that could have been in a magazine, Lily Mae explored with a child's fearlessness. She touched expensive vases, examined paintings, and tested the echoes in the high-ceilinged rooms. "She's not afraid of anything," Arthur remarked, watching Lily Mae with something akin to wonder. "That's what scares me," Maggie said. Lily Mae sees the world as a magical place where anything is possible. She doesn't understand that people can hurt her. Has someone hurt her before? The question was asked softly, but Maggie heard the underlying concern. She found herself looking at this stranger, this wealthy man who had no reason to care about a poor little girl, and so genuine worry in his eyes. "Her father," Maggie finally said. "James had problems with drugs, alcohol, anger. When Lily Mae was 2, I knew she wasn't safe with him. I left him. But that meant I lost everything else too. My family took his side, said I was exaggerating." "I'm sorry," Arthur said, and he sounded genuinely so. "I worked 3 jobs to make ends meet," Maggie continued, surprising herself with her honesty. "Cleaning houses in the mornings, data entry in the afternoons, and stock clerk at night. I leave Lily Mae with Mrs. Peterson when I can afford it. But lately there's no money for a babysitter," Arthur finished. Maggie nodded, embarrassed by the admission. "I try my best, but sometimes my best isn't enough. When she's hungry and I'm not around." Her voice cracked. "Mama," Lily Mae said, suddenly, appearing beside Maggie. "Don't cry, Mr. Art. Tell my mama why you need my help to walk." Arthur looked awkward. "Lily Mae, I don't really think you can." "Yes, I can," Lily Mae said with absolute conviction. "But first, You have to understand why you need to walk. It's not about you, Mr. Art. It's about her. She pointed to Maggie. What do you mean? Arthur asked. Mama works so hard, but she's still sad and scared all the time. She thinks she has to do everything herself. But you have money and a big house, and you're sad too. You both need each other. The simple truth hit both adults like a physical blow. Here was this 6-year-old girl, seeing connections and solutions that had never occurred to them. Lily Mae, Maggie said gently, it's not that simple. Why not? Lily Mae asked. Mr. Art is lonely, and we need help. He has everything but someone to care about him, and we care about everyone. But we don't have anything. It's like puzzle pieces. Arthur stared at Lily Mae, then at Maggie. What if she's right? Right about what? What if it's not about walking at all? What if it's about connection? Arthur turned to Maggie. I have resources I'm not using. Space I don't need. Time I don't value. And you have something I forgot I needed. Purpose. Arthur said quietly. A reason to be better than I am. Maggie felt something shift in her chest, a small crack in the wall she had built around her heart. You don't know us. We're strangers. You were strangers with James too when you met, Arthur observed. Sometimes strangers become family. Sometimes strangers break your heart, Maggie countered. Lily Mae climbed onto Arthur's lap with the easy familiarity of a child who had decided this man was safe. Mr. Art won't break our hearts, Mama. He's been hurt too many times to intentionally hurt others. Arthur's arms instinctively went around the little girl, and Maggie saw tears in his eyes. When was the last time someone had chosen to trust him so completely? What are you suggesting? Maggie asked softly. I don't know yet, Arthur admitted, but I'd like to find out. Would you be willing to have dinner here tomorrow, all of us, together? Maggie looked at her daughter, confident and happy in this stranger's embrace, and made a decision that terrified her. Okay, she said. One dinner. 5. A heart's healing, more than just legs. Next evening, Maggie stood outside the Sterling estate, in her only good dress, fighting the urge to run. She had spent the day doubting her sanity. What was she doing? Bringing her daughter to a stranger's house for dinner. But when Arthur opened the door, his face lit up in a way that squeezed her heart. When was the last time someone had been genuinely happy to see her? You came, he said, as if he'd feared they wouldn't. Lily Mae wouldn't let me change my mind, Maggie confessed. The dining room had been transformed. Instead of the formal 20-person table, Arthur had set up a small round table by the window. Candles flickered softly, and the fine china had been replaced by colorful, child-friendly plates. It's beautiful, Maggie said, able to help herself. I wanted it to feel like home. Arthur said, I realize I don't really know what that's like anymore. Dinner was surprisingly easy. Arthur had ordered takeout from a downtown Italian restaurant, and the food was the best Maggie had tasted in years. But more than that, the conversation flowed naturally. Arthur asked about Lily Mae's favorite subjects in school, about Maggie's work, about their dreams and fears. What do you want to be when you grow up? Arthur asked Lily Mae over dessert. A doctor, Lily Mae answered without hesitation. To help people feel better. Like I'm gonna help you, Lily Mae. Maggie said gently. We've talked about this. Mr. Sterling has seen lots of doctors, but they were trying to fix his legs. I'm not gonna fix his legs, Lily Mae said. I'm gonna fix his heart. The words hung in the silence. Arthur's hand instinctively went to his chest. And Maggie saw the exact moment the meaning of Lily Mae's words clicked for him. My heart is fine, Arthur said softly. No, it's not, Lily Mae said calmly. It's all closed up and hard. That's why your legs don't work. Your heart forgot how to send love down to your legs. That's not how bodies work. Honey, Maggie said. Maybe some bodies do, Arthur said thoughtfully. Maybe when you stop caring about everything, you stop feeling everything. Lily Mae nodded enthusiastically. Exactly. If we can open your heart up again, maybe your legs will remember how to feel. It was ridiculous. It was impossible. It defied everything medical science understood about spinal cord injuries. But as Arthur looked at this tiny girl who believed in miracles, he felt like some miracles did happen. How do we do that? He asked seriously. Easy, Lily Mae said. You start caring about people again, and people start caring about you. That's how hearts remember how to work. She looked between Arthur and Maggie with a wisdom far beyond her years. You're already starting to care about each other. I can see it. Maggie felt her cheeks flush. It's that obvious. Lily Mae, she began. It's okay, Mama. Caring about people is good. It means your heart is working right. Arthur reached across the table and gently touched Maggie's hand. She's not wrong, he said quietly. I care about both of you more than anything in yours. The admission hung between them. Fragile, precious, and terrifying. What now? Maggie whispered. Before Arthur could answer, Lily Mae stood on her chair and placed her small hands on their heads, like a tiny priestess performing a blessing. Now the real magic begins, she said solemnly. Because when hearts connect, anything is possible. And in that moment, with the flickering candlelight on the walls and the warm hands of this impossible child on their heads, both adults almost believed her. 6. The ultimate leap of faith. A new beginning. 3 days later, Maggie received the call she had been dreading. The landlord was evicting them, 2 months behind on rent. No more extensions by the end of the week. She sat on her bed, clutching the notice, tears streaming down her face. She had tried so hard, worked so many hours, sacrificed so much, and still, it wasn't enough. A knock at the door made her quickly wipe her eyes. It was probably Mrs. Peterson, coming to check on them. The older woman was like a grandmother to Lily Mae, one of the few bright spots in their difficult lives. But when she opened the door, it was Arthur in his wheelchair, a worried expression on his face. I saw you crying through the window, he said simply. What happened? For a moment, Maggie's pride battled with her despair. She had taken care of herself and Lily Mae for years. She didn't need anyone's help. But looking at Arthur's genuine concern, her last defenses crumbled. We're being evicted, she said, her voice trembling. I work 3 jobs, and it's still not enough. I don't know what to do anymore. Arthur was silent for a long moment. How much do you owe? It doesn't matter. I can't keep borrowing money I can't pay back. And even if I could pay this month's rent, what about next month and the month after that? What if you don't have to pay rent anymore? Maggie stared at him. What do you mean, move in with me? The words dropped between them like stones into still water. Maggie's first instinct was to say no, to run, to protect herself and Lily Mae from the inevitable disappointment. You don't know what you're saying, she said. I know exactly what I'm saying. This house has 37 rooms, and I use maybe 5 of them. There's a guest suite on the first floor with its own entrance and its own kitchen. You and Lily Mae would have your own space, your privacy. I can't afford that. You won't be paying rent. You'll be helping me. How will I be helping you? Arthur's voice grew very quiet, giving me a reason to get up in the mornings, letting me be part of something good, letting me care about someone again. And from inside the apartment, Lily Mae's voice called out, Mama, is Mr. Art here? A moment later, she appeared in the doorway, her face lighting up when she saw Arthur. Did you come for your heart medicine? She asked seriously. What medicine? Arthur asked, perplexed. Your heart medicine. That's what happens when people care about each other. It's like medicine for broken hearts. Maggie looked at her daughter, then back at Arthur. Is it really that simple? She asked. What will people think? A single mother moving in with a rich man. Let them think what they want, Arthur said firmly. The ones who matter will understand, and the ones who don't understand don't matter. Mama pulled at Lily Mae's shirt. Remember what you always tell me. Sometimes when you're drowning, you gotta let someone throw you a rope. Maggie had said those words to Lily Mae just a week ago, when her daughter was struggling to ask for help at school. Now her own advice was coming back to her. Is this rope? She asked Arthur softly. Is that what you want it to be? Arthur replied. A new start. A safe place. A chance for all of us to be better than we are alone. Maggie closed her eyes and took a deep breath. When she opened them again, she saw Arthur looking at her with hope and anxiety, and Lily Mae watching both of them with the calm certainty of someone who had known how it would end all along. Okay, she finally said. But we have rules, name them. Lily Mae and I pull our own weight. We're not a charity case. Agreed. You can help manage the house, coordinate staff, handle things I can't do from this chair. And if it doesn't work, we'll figure out how to make it work, Arthur said firmly. Because some things are worth fighting for. Lily Mae clapped her hands. I told you the magic was starting, as Maggie began to believe that perhaps they had all found something worth believing in. She couldn't help but think that her 6-year-old daughter might just be the wisest person she had ever met. After all, who said miracles had to be impossible? 2 weeks into January, their new life at the Sterling estate settled into an unexpected rhythm. Maggie woke up each morning in the guest apartment, which felt like a palace compared to their old flat, actually looking forward to the day ahead. Arthur had kept his word about her pulling her own weight. She had taken over managing the household staff, coordinating repairs, and handling correspondence that had piled up for months. For the first time in years, she felt capable and significant, not just desperate. Lily Mae had turned the mansion into her personal playground. She had befriended Mrs. Chen, learned the names of all the delivery people, and somehow convinced the gardener to let her help plant flowers in the greenhouse. Most importantly, she had appointed herself Arthur's official heart doctor. Time for your treatment, Mr. Art, Lily Mae announced, appearing in his study with a serious expression. If you enjoyed The Little Healer and The Wounded Tycoon, please make sure to like this video, comment below with your thoughts, subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure.